remember, at any point, if you're wanting to stop working and come back to it the next day, day after, you're going to want to cover it completely with plastic. You can do that with saran wrap. You can do it with a plastic bag. So this would be my example. You want to get the air out of it. Tie it close. And you can come back to working on it. Any of this though, you want to make, if you want to be able to reuse your scraps, those need to get covered again as well. And if they're a little bit dried out, you just spritz them in the bag, close it, spritz them in the bag, close it overnight, and it will reabsorb that clay and be ready to go when you're, when you need to use it again. And please do clean up every little thing, like all of this stuff that dries out. If that falls on your floor, and you can put some of the little dried bits back into your slip, the water will absorb. But that needs to go in the trash or into your slip. Don't put it down your sink. Don't leave it on your floor. Your floor is gonna get really dusty and dirty, and your parents are gonna be angry at me. And please make sure that you clean all your stuff. You don't want to put giant hunks of clay down the sink. You want to make sure that most of your the majority of your tool is clean before you go and clean it off in your sink. But yes, you need to clean them in your sink every time. Otherwise, you're just gonna create a big old mess for yourself to deal with, and I don't think you'll be very happy. Okay, guys. So this is my workspace. This right here, that either needs to go in the trash or into the dirt outside. It doesn't really matter. You can put a little bit of it in your slip, but eventually you're going to end up with too much slip. But this just needs to go away. Clay that you've been working with though, some of it, if it's not super dried out, just quartz it with a bottle. And like, these are some bits that I was working with. Just one, two. Sorry about that. Close it up. Let it sit overnight. It'll be good as new in the morning to work with. But any of this dusty stuff, this you definitely want to clean up, vacuum. Use a sponge, like a clean sponge. This one I haven't cleaned out yet. I'm going to have to go rinse it a bunch in the sink. But they work really great, better than rags. And then I would go and take your canvas square and then just toss this out and then beat it a couple times outside to get rid of the dust as much as possible. And then do a double check on the floor. See, I'm going to need to vacuum that up. We don't want to make our parents any angrier than they need to be. So just make sure you really are thorough about cleaning up your space. So this is my clay water that I was using, dipping my fingerprint in. This needs to be dumped outside, not down the sink. And you might even see a little bit of that. Do your best to get that out here. You don't want that in your sink. The least amount we can get in your sink, the best. And that goes for class too. Maybe I'll use some of the snow to clean it out. I don't know. So as you guys can tell, I got my Daruma in the bag. It's sealed up tight and they're nestled in there. They're probably going to be safe. If I wanted to be a little bit just extra careful, I could put some more paper around the back end just to keep them safe. But for the most part, I mean, I'm shaking him. Just double check and he's good. Anything else I need to tell you guys? Oh, if you can bring, like, I know mine is pretty much finished and ready to start getting bone dry, but you can still bring your work in progress into class to work on them. So let's say they're still pretty plastic, they're in a plastic stage, you can still bring them in like this to work on them. Just don't wait till they get bone dry. It's a little more dangerous.